And Popeyes. Love that chicken from Popeyes. Good food I keep.
For financial news and the latest developments in the business community and economy, Financially Speaking is the top choice. Join me, your host Errol Gregory, Mondays and Wednesdays at 12:30 p.m. as we look at current economic issues, provide small business tips, and help you to build your business and portfolios. That's Financially Speaking, sponsored by Jamaica Stock Exchange, JSE Online Trading.
It will get better. It will get better. Won't last forever. Won't last forever. And if you trust in the Lord, your nights will turn to day. Just remember.
It is yet indeed another beautiful morning. Let me welcome you all to our mid-morning program, Final Decision, aired every Monday and Thursday, right here on Omega, KLS Omega 89.9 FM. I am, of course, your host, Mark Maitland from the Garden of Paradise Funeral Home, and with me, as per usual.
It's Errol Green from Exodus Funeral Home.
All right.
How is the morning, Mr. Maitland?
Very, very, very good morning.
Yeah.
We're at that time of the year now, where, people think of, look at, and do things differently. And without a doubt, Mr. Green, as we would know, even the way funerals are done is impacted in some way, shape, or form in the Christmas season.
Yes, sir.
And that's what we're going to talk about today, because the fact is, boy, the sad thing about death, is that death, one, does not give you any warning, and two, that comes whenever it pleases, and oftentimes, and sadly so, individuals have had to deal with the funeral services or funeral planning of family members during the Christmas season. And so, as we say, compliments of the seasons to everyone, both locally and in the diaspora and those who are listening. We just want to give you some tips as to how to manage, as it relates to doing funeral services for family members or memorial service for family members in the Yuletide season. Mr. Green, the first thing that I want to touch on is not even so much the funeral aspect of things, but memorial service.
Memorial service.
Because the fact is, sometimes you have individuals who die, and they'd have died in the November, December, early January season. And for some persons, you hear them say, boy, the Christmas not so merry, and the Christmas not go merry, because a relative would have died some time ago during this time. And that, like me, maybe you'd hear individuals say they don't go certain places during the Christmas season. They don't go Grand Market, they don't go these places, or they don't go to certain parishes because maybe a family member died of an accident or something.
Right. And many years ago, you would never catch me celebrate a Valentine's Day, because my mother died during that period.
Oh.
You understand? But after you grow older, you put some things behind you.
But it comes with time, Mr. Green.
It comes with times.
And you have had that experience, and so,
right.
you're acquainted with that. As for me, I have a little cousin, almost brother, who died one New Year's Day. Yeah, man, some time ago. And for a while, New Year's, even everybody else was leaving to go watch fireworks and all these things.
Yeah, I make no move.
Every time it came to New Year's, that thing came back to me. And so we just want to talk to individuals. And let me say condolence to the family of those individuals who died over the weekend through motor vehicle accident. There was one on the Dyke Road yesterday that was recently brought to my attention. Condolence to the members of that family, of that young man. And I know during this time, Mr. Green, when you're, when the world is in celebration mode, you have to plan the funeral service of a loved one. It is not easy. But we're going to talk about that in the second half of the program. Right now, we're going to touch on the memorializing a loved one. When those things come back to memory and the impact that it has on you as a person during this time. And so, as Mr. Green alluded to earlier, after a while, these things tend to tend to leave you. And it's just like the process of grieving.
Right.
It takes some time. So one thing I want to say, firstly, as we go into the program, and if you're just joining the program for the first time, we still welcome you. We're towards the tail end of the program, but this is the mid-morning program, aired every Monday and Thursday, Final Decision. And as I was saying before, Mr. Green, when it comes to the time when a loved one would have passed and the impact it will have on your either feeling festive or celebratory, and you scaling back on how much you do, both how much you spend and how much you expend your energy into doing, this can take a toll on you over time. So one of the best ways to get through this season is not to focus so much on the event itself. Yes, when the day comes, you're going to remember that, boy, this was the day that the family member died. This was the events leading up, and this was the mode in which he or she died. And it is going to, it's going to make you sad. It's going to make you sad. But what I also want you to do, friends, and here is where those around you come in. You of your own, in your own strength, by yourself, can do it. And I know persons tend to deal with grief differently. And some persons want to be by themselves. May I recommend to you, may I submit to you, instead of trying to be by yourself so you can get through the process and you can go by yourself, just try, if it's even this once, for this season, just try being in the company of other individuals.
Yes, Mr. Maitland. And I also would also recommend to them also that when it comes to that time, I see it good if you could bring the family together and go to a church.
Go to a church.
Find a church service where you can just relax. And because remember, you know, that time of the year, that time when you take time out to celebrate his life or give God thanks for his life. So, you could go back. Go back to the church at that time of the year with your family and being prayed for.
Right. And that's a very, very good suggestion, Mr. Green. Because if you're somebody who believes in prayer, and sadly there are persons who don't, so if you're somebody who believes in prayer, remember that prayer conquers a whole lot and all fear.
Right.
And the spiritual will combine with the physical. So those who are around in your physical space, and in your physical space, when you engage in prayer, you combine that physical space with the spiritual, and of course you will find comfort for that. Also, what you can do, you can visit the grave site of the person.
Yes.
Visit the grave site of the person.
And bring a bouquet. Bring a bouquet.
Come on, bring a little Rita
bouquet. It give you that kind of relief, that kind of peace of mind. You will leave there with some level of satisfaction.
Right. So these things help with the process. And you'll find that as time goes by, it makes the burden of grief a little lighter. I understand all year round you are okay, you're fine. But as soon as it gets to that time, that the individual are just coming up close to the time when the individual died, especially if it's a tragic death, then we know these things happen. And today we are dealing specifically to those individuals who would have had family members die around about this festive season.
Yes.
And they believe that for some way it's gonna impact negatively, your mood or your mood then. And so we're saying, yes, you do your reflections, but for the most part, listeners, don't spend time by yourself. It will drive you into depression.
Serious depression.
It will drive you into depression. And so you want to spend, you're not going to necessarily be in a crowd, And we want to recommend also.
And Mr. Maitland, that it is the best time for that reflection. It's the best time for you to question God, Pray and reason with God about the situation. And ask him why. And you will surprised to know what he revealed to you.
Right.
At this time.
And through revelation comes relief.
Right.
Through revelation comes relief, because sometimes you don't understand some things, But spending time to reason with God over time. Some things start to come to you, and then you say, it starts to make sense.
Yeah, then you start to accept what happened.
And what we don't realize, Mr. Green, especially during this time when people are in a feeling of being close to family, when one is withdrawn, it impacts how the others feel. So yes, you may be in a space that you're saying, boy, based on the events that have happened years ago, this is how I feel. And yes, there are family members who will understand that, boy, because of that, this is how you feel. But the fact is, whilst they will allow you to go through the process of grieving and healing, it also impacts them, because guess what? They're absorbing thoughts. Because the truth is, Mr. Green, if you're in your family, and I know that when it comes around December time, you're giving the loss of a loved one, and it is obvious, you're going to be on my mind. And everything that I would do otherwise, maybe I continue with the activities. But the truth is, I'm not going to be totally absorbed in the activities because you are going to be on my mind. And the fact that you are not all right, it therefore means that the family members are not all right. And what we want to help you to get to is a place where all of us can be okay.
Yes, Mr. Mayor. Yeah, man. And again, I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again. One of the best methods now to use after a year pass, and it's good to go to church for prayer.
Go to church for prayer.
It's good because Jamaica we are believers, and we believe that prayers changes things. So if you believe that prayer can change things, why can't you believe that prayer can change how you feel?
Exactly.
Why can't you believe that prayer can change the existing situation?
Exactly.
So, I recommend that, you're going through that grief now, and you're still battling with acceptance.
Right.
To accept what happened. Get the family together and go for prayer.
Go for prayer. And it is equally important that you take some time to, again, visit that grave site.
Yes.
Pay the tribute the best way you can. And then,
I know what helped to Mr. Mayor, not only visit the grave site, but improved on the grave. Yeah, you understand? Yeah. Do something.
Something. Debushing.
Yeah, debushing.
Painting,
paint the grave, tile the grave. If you don't have a headstone, you and the family come together and plan to put on a headstone. Those things bring relief.
And the truth is, Mr. Green, I find that when you do this year after year, year 1, year 2, you see by year 3, the grief is not as bad as it used to be,
Right.
The thing is not as somber as it used to be, So you're taking time to find that healing, not only in the fact that the family is coming together, but in the activities that you do. No, you don't need to have a lot of money to do this,
No, you don't have to.
So friends, what we're saying is that, if you have a big cooking and juice and all of these things, and invite the whole community, if you are able to, no problem. But for the most part, what we're saying is that for you and your family to find healing, this is what we recommend that you do for yourself.
Mr. Mayor, I have friends that would visit their mother grave and their daughter grave, like many times throughout the year. And they always call me to follow them. And I take time out to accompany them to go.
Some people do, yeah.
And we sit down and we talk and we drink and we eat.
And you reminisce on the moments of the person's life before. And you find that over time, that definitely will bring you some semblance of healing. And you get to recovery. Friends, we thank you so very much, as per usual, for being here with us, for joining the program. It is Final Decision. Today we're talking about grieving for individuals during the Yuletide season. As we know, for the most part, the most persons in the world do celebrate Christmas, and they do look forward to the festivities during this time. And so right now what we're talking about is how to cope with grief during the Christmas season. We talked about what happens when somebody had died before, but on the other side of the break, we're going to talk about how to deal with funerals during the festive season. We'll catch you back on the other side when we get back from the break.
Nights will turn to day. Just remember, it will get better.
The time brought to you by the Manchester Co-op Credit Union 1977 Limited Property Loan. Telephone 876-962-0401 is 11:45.
So refreshing. What's so refreshing, Sonia? The water is refreshing. Try it now. Where you get that from? No clean manufacturing water. So refreshing. Me like it. Clean water. Located at 20 Syndham Commercial, Old Harbour, Spanish Town, St. Catherine. Telephone number 876-335-0448 or 876-648-7192 or email cleanconcept@gmail.com.
Spectrum Insurance Brokers pride themselves in being professionals in the field of insurance broking, claim settlement, and risk management services for over 35 years. We offer a wide range of insurance services including motor, property, liability, accident, life, and international health for individuals and companies at competitive rates. Call 926-3572 or visit 7.5 Haining Road, Kingston 5 or shop number 3 James Plaza, Mandeville. Call 625-6804 or visit online spectrumjamaica.com. Spectrum Insurance Brokers, setting the industry standards. Spectrum Insurance Brokers pride themselves in being professionals in the field of insurance broking, claim settlement, and risk management services for over 35 years. We offer a wide range of insurance services including motor, property, liability, accident, life, and international health for individuals and companies at competitive rates. Call 926-3572 or visit 7.5 Haining Road, Kingston 5 or shop number 3 James Plaza, Mandeville. Call 625-6804 or visit online spectrumjamaica.com. Spectrum Insurance Brokers, setting the industry standards.
Cool, you just get whop. A true hungry man. Yeah, right. Me are the king of this. Like how the Whopper are the king of burgers. Hey, you see when Burger King go so boom and make the beef patty well seasoned up and put it on the open flame. Then them go so juicy pickles, tomatoes, freshly cut onions, crispy lettuce. Classic. Every other burger still stuck at square one. Two big bad Whopper right on time.
Order from the Burger King menu at HelloFoodJA.com. Taste rules your way at Burger King. The best tasting burgers under the sun.
Your health is your wealth, so come we start the conversation. Make we rise and immunize all across the nation. The ministry is giving us the motivation to get your infants routine immunization. Protect the toddlers from all diseases. Tetanus, rubella, whooping cough and the measles. Polymyelitis, mumps and the flu, plus tuberculosis to name a few.
Rise to immunize. Eliminating diseases saves lives. Visit your nearest clinic or health center for more information or log on to www.moh.gov.jm.
A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness with support from USAID and PAHO.
My Mega Mart, best value by far.
With so much to do in one location, make Mega Mart your one-stop shop. Pick up your groceries and houseware needs, grab a bite and pay some bills, fill your prescriptions and see the beauty products in our pharmacy, all in one amazing location. My Mega Mart, the best value by far.
My Mega Mart, best value by far.
It will get better. It will get better. Won't last forever. Won't last forever. And if you trust in the Lord, your nights will turn to day.
Thank you very much, listeners, for staying with us. This is the mid-morning program, Final Decision. We're on to the second half now of our program. And of course, today, what we're talking about is dealing with grief or dealing with deaths during the Christmas season, during the Yuletide season. And if you have just joined us, we want to thank you so very much for being a part of today's program. But prior to the break, we were talking about the fact of, or the impact that having to deal with the death of a loved one in years gone by, the impact that will have on individuals. And we were talking about tips to cope with that grief and how to memorialize the person and how to gradually lessen the impact that will have on your mood during the celebratory or festive season. Because I know Jamaicans, for the most part, Mr. Green, in all areas, there's this thing about Christmas for us. Whether you celebrate Christmas or not, when it comes to the season, there's just this thing with Jamaicans.
I love Christmas.
Christmas, I might.
I know this because from school time, we get like a long holiday, a nice holiday. But, growing up as a child, me not now want to get pretty from Christmas Eve.
Yeah. You see the pretty,
right back to New Year's.
You see the pretty and the niceness? Yeah. And when we were growing up, we used to have less violence during Christmas time.
So it's a time when you'd ride a bicycle, different community, different district.
Right.
and check out some people. You know what I mean? So it's a time of the year where, honestly, Mr. Maitland, I don't like to spend Christmas in America.
Oh.
I don't feel that kind of feelings like when I'm in Jamaica.
No, man, Jamaica Christmas are different.
Right. So we just love Christmas. I love Christmas.
Me, I feel love Christmas more than you know because of my birthday, you know, brother. But the fact is, while there are those of us who are merrymaking, and those of us who are really indulging in all the festivities, sadly, Mr. Green, there are others who has to deal with the death and final
because
disposition.
they're saddened by something or the other, you know.
Right.
Some strategies trucked and you know.
Right. So friends, when it comes now to, I know for the most part, you see, in Jamaica, if we have family members who die during December, we try some persons, and this has been the practice over the years, for the most part, we want to carry that funeral service over into January because we don't want to dampen the season, we believe, by, you know, having that burial during the December period or during the festive period. But we want to talk a little bit, listeners, about that, because what I've realized, having interacted with individuals over the years, and yes, through the years, we have had situations where clients have either done the burial in December or they have gone over into January. But what I've done in reasoning, in talking with clients that we have served, is that sometimes, you know, I know we don't want to dampen the spirit of or the celebration of Christmas with having a burial during a particular period in December, and so bring it over into the new year. But Mr. Green, there are two drawbacks to that.
Yeah, because we have to think about the finances, and you know, it will not cost you any less, you know. Because Mr. Miller, you know, I have funeral on Christmas Eve.
Some persons do.
Yeah, I do. You know, because I let my clients know that as long as they are comfortable with a date,
right,
Exodus don't have a problem.
No, we don't have a problem.
We are there to facilitate. Yeah. So once you give us a date for your funeral, it will be done that date.
And there are some persons who try, who will get it done before all the festivities. But there are others who, and again, we are talking based on the experiences that we have had and the trend that we have seen over the years. There are individuals who want to carry services over into January. Now, say for example, a loved one dies, say, today's the 13th of November. Say for example, a loved one died during the first week of December. Personally, what my encouragement to you would be is see how best as possible, because there are some cases that we don't have control over, like those that the government has to do an autopsy, and you know you have to wait on their date. So some things you don't have control over. But where you have the control, the recommendation is that you try to have the process completed before the celebration and / the new year. Because what you might find, you know, the person dies early December, you carry the funeral over into the new year. Every year what's going to happen is that when it comes to that time in December where the individual dies, you are saddened, one, because the day or the date of the death has come. And then by the time you get to New Year, you're going to be sad again.
Because the burial date has come.
The burial date is coming around. So you're putting yourself through double grief. And I know most persons don't think about it like that, you know.
Right.
But for those who have had the experience, you realize that you're putting yourself through double grief. Because
and again, you're going to sometimes you bring confusion to the family. Because some might want to acknowledge this date, some might want to acknowledge that date. Then it brings a struggle to bring the family together to just have one celebration. You know?
And also, Mr. Green, one of the things that happen is that Christmas not bright, New Year's not bright either. Because you're remembering the death, and you're remembering that, boy, this is the day that we put them down for burial. So Christmas is drawing close, you're sad. New Year's is drawing close, you're sad again, because you have, you know, two events that you have to be looking forward to, two sad events. And so the recommendation is that, one, if you are able to, if it is within your power to, do so for your peace of mind. Secondly, it will cost you less, because when you carry things over into the new year, of course you're going to be accumulating days, storage days.
Yeah, and not only will you be accumulating storage days, but the added expense to continue throughout that time.
Right.
right? With the whole preparation of the funeral, family coming together, friends coming together. You have to be out there with them.
Mr. Green, here's something also that individuals don't realize, and I never realized it until recently. Do you know that every January there's an increase in building material, blocks, cement, these things?
No, I first have
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it never
yeah, every January
That's right.
automatically there's an increase in building material, and so especially for those who will be doing the building on a family plot,
right.
you're gonna end up paying a little bit more, and also funeral homes don't celebrate Christmas nor New Year's. A day is just a day.
Yeah.
A day is just a day, and so that's part of the reason why you don't have a payment holiday.
Yeah, we have to be always working.
Charges will accumulate, and so if it is within your power, friends, and again, it is sad. While some persons are celebrating, others are grieving. And the reality about this grief is that it's not a one-time, one-off, 1 year and it is done. Yearly, it's going to come back.
Yeah.
And so you're going to have to find now ways and means to get through this, to get over this, to gradually come to the place where you can get to that period. And today we're talking about the impact it will have on the Christmas season and so on. But truth be told, it can be for whichever day, because the fact is, whenever it is coming close to the day that your loved one dies, regardless of when they die, it is going to impact you.
And something that Mr. Maitland, let me encourage our listeners. Do not be afraid to celebrate. To celebrate, the death of your loved one.
Mm-hmm.
You might be going through a phase where you do not have who to celebrate with, right? You might be going through a phase where, you don't know how to express yourself. This is what you want, but you don't know how to bring it across to others because you might be saying this is your problem, this is your responsibility.
No man is an island.
Right. And you might think that you're not going to get that family support to really celebrate, and you all that hurt and you all that pain. And it will bring great depression.
It will bring.
It will allow you not even to have a Christmas or a Happy New Year.
It will bring.
Right? So do not be afraid to celebrate the death of your loved one.
Right.
If it's even you alone. If it's even you and your children. Then.
I don't want to encourage anyone to do it alone, Mr. Green, because the fact is no one is an island. So on that.
When I say alone, Mr. Maitland, is that if you go to the graveside,
right,
bring a wreath,
right,
bring something, bush the place and get that relief.
Get that relief. But also remember, no man is an island.
No man stand alone.
Everybody need friends.
Right.
You need friends, and especially friends who will understand that. You see, and let me just talk to you in the last 2 minutes that I have. If you are somebody who you have a friend, and you understand that certain time of the year, this is what's going to happen with my friend mentally. Plan to be there for that person.
True.
Be there for that person. Stand with that person. Help that person through the grief.
Yeah. Not only be there for the birthday and for the anniversary.
Be there for them now.
Yeah, be there for them to go through a grieving process.
And help to do something new. Sometimes it not cost you much. You just might need to just take them away from a particular space into a new space.
Right.
A little fresh air, a little drive out, a little walk out.
Yes.
And that will do a world of good. Friends, we want to thank you so very much for staying with us. We want to thank you so very much for listening to the program today. We want to thank you so very much for sharing the program with others. And if you came on late and you did not catch the full program, then you can always go to the YouTube and Facebook pages of the Omega Radio and look for Final Decision, and you can view the program in its entirety. I am, of course, Mark Maitland from the Garden of Paradise Funeral Home.
And I am Errol Green from Exodus Funeral Home. Thank you very much.
It will get better because it came to pass. Catch you again on another program, 11:30 to 12 o'clock.
It will get better. Won't last forever. Won't last forever. And if you trust in the Lord, your nights will turn to day. Just remember.
Make XL Auto Parts your first stop for all your automotive parts and accessories for Toyota, Nissan, Honda, and other vehicles. Tires also available. Located at 95.5 Hagley Park Road, Kingston. Call 426-1769. The time by XL Auto Parts, your auto parts hub, is
12 o'clock.
Use bleach. Diluted household bleach solutions can be used if appropriate for the surface. Never mix household bleach with ammonia or any other cleanser. Unexpired household bleach will be effective against coronaviruses when properly diluted. Prepare a bleach solution by mixing.
Blessings. Have you been blessed by the Real Talk Show with Bishop Manning? Well, you can listen to the Real Talk Show Mondays to Fridays, 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. on the Omega Radio app. Just go to your app store and look for Omega Radio, or listen live on the Omega Church Broadcasting Network website. That's www.omegachurchradio.com. You can also watch on Facebook at Omega Church. On YouTube, you can watch the live church service at Omega Church or Omega Radio. You can also call us at 876-319-1148 or 876-613-9129. The toll-free number is 877-494-0253. That was a paid advertisement by Omega Radio.
Tune in to Jermaine Morgan, aka DJ Frisco, every Sunday morning live on air. Class FM 89 for the undiluted gospel mix. On the Class FM 89, you will be motivated,